Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Locker Room Talk Uncut. Drew Garrison, Chad Penrod in the locker room, bringing you all the latest in sports. Today, we're going to get into the big Bengals-Browns matchup from last week. We're going to go through a rough week 2 in the NFL. Lots of injuries, some good games, though. I'm going to give you my full opinion on Zach Taylor. Chad's going to talk a little bit more about how Baker Mayfield looked last week, and we'll get you more updates on the NBA playoffs and the big Week 3 NFL schedule coming up this week. Lots of good games on that. So let's get this thing up and rolling. So let's start off here real quick. Let's get the NBA out of the way.
Let's get them out of the way.
Yeah, because their viewership's down. Their numbers are down. Their ratings are down. And I don't know if it's because they're competing with football or political. It's probably a little bit of both. We were talking before the show.
Definitely both, I think.
But I feel like people are more interested in football this time of year. I think it's just tough
Aren't
for them.
they always?
It's tough for them to – I mean, the NBA playoffs competing with the start of the NFL season, especially in this world when we didn't know we were going to have an NFL season, is a little bit
I think that they're ready this season to be over. I don't think they give a shit who wins. I think that they're just – their viewership numbers is just tanking so bad that, and like I said, I won't go political with it, even though we think that some of it definitely is political. But we, like you and I were talking before the game, like the Lakers, they're the biggest team in right now as far as fans and viewership goes, and their next game is Thursday during Thursday Night Football, and then they play Saturday, and you're going to have the first week of the SEC college football back.
And there's like a lot of good college games.
Right, and there's a bunch of good college games. And then the next game, if it goes that far, is Monday Night Football, and this Monday night we have the Chiefs and the Ravens. So it's just going to continue to plummet, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really give a fuck. I watch them all. It is weird, though, because less people seem to care, but you
don't see a whole lot of people talking about it.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like around here, especially, people just aren't as into it when LeBron's not a Cav. I feel like people around here are more into the NBA. When
he went to a big team, so to say, where the Cavs were never really that big, and now it's just kind of everybody. Either unless you're a Lakers fan or a LeBron stan, you kind of just hate LeBron.
Yeah, I mean. So getting into the Boston and Miami series right now, they are getting ready to play game number 4 tonight.
2-1 Miami right now.
8:30, yeah, 2-1 Miami. I figure Miami probably was going to win this in like 5 or 6.
Yeah, tonight's going to be big. I think the series goes kind of based off tonight, because kind of back to the viewership thing, I don't talk about it too much, but if you hear a lot of big reporters, you hear them talking about the only thing that's going to save the NBA is if it's the Lakers-Celtics, because of the rivalry and what's there or whatnot. But I'm not even sure that can save it. What do you think?
Well, I don't think it needs saving. I think the people that
this needs saved this. It needs saved this season from, dude. It's plummeted. It's bad.
Yeah, but the normal guy, I have no reason to give a shit about that.
Right. Well,
I mean, the normal sports fan doesn't really have a reason to give a shit if people watch or not. If you want to watch, you're going to watch. I'm going to watch Lakers games.
Right.
They're doing a whole bunch of shit I don't agree with down there, but I want the Lakers to win a championship, so I'm going to watch. I don't even know though, because you've got a storyline either way. The Kobe narrative that's gone on through the season since he passed away. The Lakers want to win one for him. Do they want to play against Boston, the most hated rival? The last Lakers title was 10 years ago against the Celtics. Kobe had a great game 7 to finish it out. Or you've got the other side. You've got LeBron going up against his former team and his former coach and the Heat. I think there's a storyline to be created either way.
I think the bigger story is the Celtics.
It definitely would
the
be.
Lakers.
The Lakers and Celtics, that's their rival. As much as, it seems like the Clippers are really their rival now, it's still Boston. The whole Kobe narrative, the do it for Kobe thing that the players I know are still fully behind against the Celtics would be cool. And it would be a battle for, the most championship banners hanging up in your arena. I'd have to pull it up, but I think Boston has the Lakers beat by 1. So if that was the case, the Lakers would have a chance to tie it up.
So kind of want to talk about last night's game. I mean, obviously, Lakers take the early 2-0 advantage. Denver pretty much dominated for 3 quarters last night, and then the Lakers made a huge run in the fourth before Jamal Murray kind of closed that one out. What are you seeing, man? One thing that I will notice here, and this isn't just being a LeBron Lakers hater here, but the Nuggets really do play good ball.
Oh, yeah, they definitely do. And honestly, that was the second game of the series where the Lakers have been outplayed.
You could easily say that the Nuggets should be up 2-1.
They very well could. The Lakers dominated game one from start to finish.
They'd match up real well with the Lakers.
It's weird, though, because it's all about energy with the Lakers. So, like, game two, they come out with great energy. They get a 20-some point lead. Things are good. And then the second half, it's like they just chilled. They were just like, okay, we got a lead. Their shot selection was terrible. There was way too much standing around.
A lot of missed threes, and that's always bad for the Lakers.
Yeah, and they let Denver come back into the game, and it took a playoff defining moment for Anthony Davis to hit a buzzer beater to win the game. And then last night, they started out the first half just terrible. They looked flat. They didn't look interested. And then the energy came back at like the 10-minute mark in the fourth quarter. I was like, I'm going to turn this shit off. Like, it's over. I'm going to go into bed. And then Rondo gets a steal, and all of a sudden they've got this run going. They can't seem to put that energy together for a full game. They could easily be down 2-1 on Denver's side.
Rondo had about, I want to say, like 4 series in a row where he stole the ball.
Oh, yeah. He like put on his black Air Force run.
Playoff Rondo's the real deal.
I doubted it, but game 2 was a Rondo game that I didn't like. So, it comes and goes.
Still get the win.
But, yeah, they still won. So it's just weird. I don't know what the situation is. They can't just put on that focus for a full game in this series, it seems like. There's always one half where the energy's way lower than the other. So I'm not 1,000% sure what that means. I don't know what there is to fix that, but it needs to get fixed quickly because last night was a must-win for Denver. And they play very, very well when their backs are up against the wall. We've seen that the whole playoffs. They won 8 straight games down 3-1. Last night's not 3-1, but they're desperate. Their backs are against the wall. I think they knew they had to win that game. They just came out and they wanted it. So
I'll tell you what, man, the Joker and Jamal Murray, man, they're the real deal.
Yeah, and LeBron was great last night. He had a triple-double. Anthony Davis had 20-some points, but he didn't get his first rebound until like 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. How does that ever happen?
And let's stop right there, because if we're going to give LeBron shit in the fourth and we're going to give Kawhi shit in the fourth, we've got to give Anthony Davis some shit for that.
Oh, I give everybody shit.
That's ridiculous, man. How tall is he? He's like 7 foot tall.
Yeah. You're
a power forward. How are you just getting your first rebound in the fourth quarter?
On Jokic or not, it doesn't matter. I don't get how that happens. And people think I hate LeBron because I will criticize LeBron, but I will shit on anybody that plays like shit for the Lakers because I want the Lakers to win. If you're playing like shit, you're playing like shit. His 23 points were nice, but he can get that in his sleep.
Right.
No fucking rebounds.
Right.
He had a soft night. We've talked about that before. He had a soft night last night.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to fix it. I mean, I'm not super worried because they are up 2-1, but
Nuggets rail off this next one. I think there'll be a little bit of concern.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, they tie
just
it
match up real well. I still think the Lakers win this in 6. But a win Thursday night for the Nuggets would go a long way for that team because they've got to be confident because if I'm them, I mean, you got to feel like you could have won game 2, you won game 3, so you have to feel like you're at least in it. You know?
Yeah, they should have a good amount of confidence. So we'll see how that all plays out, and I'll be tweeting my bullshit through all the games.
Man, tell us about this. Let's tell them about the pool, man. $340 last week, dude.
Austin with the win.
Yeah.
The upset and tiebreaker, and a lot of people have asked if he changed his pick. He did not. Going forward, you will be able to change your picks up to the kickoff time of a game, but you will no longer be able to see other people's picks. So you can track your score to see how you're doing, but you can't actually see other people's picks to know that you need to change your pick because we lost a couple people over that. They were kind of pissed off.
And just to hit on that, we told everyone going in that up to game time, up to that game, you can change your pick.
Yeah, it was well known.
We knew because we had 2 perfect score. We had 15 points. They had 15 of the 16 with Monday night to go to make it perfect.
Zach Meyer and
we
Matt
knew
Polis.
that they were. I mean, anybody with a brain knew that they were going to go Saints like they should have. The upset pick was the Raiders. Austin picked the Raiders, which would tied everybody because I actually had 15 points myself. I just missed it by a couple points. But Austin had the highest score, and he had the tiebreaker. So
yeah, so some people say they don't want to be in a pool where you can change your picks. That's how we're going to do it. That's how it's been from the start.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, a couple people have left. It's a no big deal. All in good fun. We've got it up so far this week. Excuse me. We've got the pool coming, and we've got all of our entries, a lot of our returning people. We've got some new people added in as well. So as I say this at 4:37 on Wednesday, the pot is at $130. That's not actually counting the $20 that I add for me and my girlfriend who finishes last every week. So it's $150. I just haven't put mine in yet. So we're going to keep posting that up, try to fill it up, see if we can beat 340, and watch your picks throughout the weekend, get the mobile app, and see if you can win the money.
Yeah, so let's go here to the NFL, man. We haven't got to talk about this yet. My Cleveland Browns beat up on your Cincinnati Bengals. It was actually a good game, real good game.
It wasn't, though. Like that touchdown with 43 seconds left for what? That makes the game look closer than it actually was.
Zach Taylor look.
I told you that when we were watching the game. I said, look, dude, if he scores here, he's just going to make himself 0-10 in one-score games. He probably would have been better off.
So Zach Taylor, 0-10 in one-score games.
He
Drew,
fucking sucks.
You are the Bengals fan here. What do you think about your boy Zach Taylor?
He's not my fucking boy. I know that. I went into the season with his 0-8 at the time record in one-score games, and I took it with a grain of salt. I gave him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. He got a late off season, blah, 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 blah. They were kind of trying to lose, it felt like, so I was like, whatever. But now we're 2 weeks into the season, and I think they need to fire that motherfucker. I think he should get the fuck out. Joe Burrow, who I know you've got a hot take about Joe Burrow we'll get to in a little bit.
Right. It's not what you think, but
I'm just going off Twitter, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
I thought that's because you know why I said what I said. You Bengals fans are fucking annoying. But anyways, we'll get into that, but you tell me.
He dropped back behind that line 61 times on Thursday night.
What line? What line are you talking about?
The offensive line of the Cincinnati Bengals,
the
complete
line
with
the
Bobby Hart.
The line that Zach Taylor did what? Tell them.
Well, this is my thought on that. Zach Taylor's wrong no matter what. Either he was okay with going into this season behind that line, or he didn't do a good enough job of going to the front office and demanding that they address the offensive line.
Boy, he tried to sell you guys on that, and a lot of people bought it.
I'd never bought it. We can pull receipts. We can play old episodes. I said, yeah, man, they're confident going into the season, but I'm not.
I would okay if you didn't buy it. You were confident that they were confident. Like, wait,
no. I just called it for what it was. I said, hey, man, I don't know what episode it was. I've said it a couple times. I said, hey, they're confident with the line they have. That scares the shit out of me because we're getting.
There were a lot of buyers. Now. A lot of people bought that bullshit.
I was very skeptical because I watched them play football last year.
How? I mean, I'm just sitting here, and the game was 6 days ago, and still I just look back on it, and you see the highlights, and you're just kind of like, why? Why is Joe Burrow dropping back 61 times?
In a game where he didn't have to.
And not even dropping back. Why is he standing 5 wide all game long with that line?
It makes no sense.
That line that we're sitting here shitting on, that line that deserves to be shit on, that line that's one of the worst in the NFL.
Now, I will say the left side's pretty solid, but that right side is terrible.
5 wide, though. 5 wide is not winning football ever. You cannot... I understand taking some of what Joe Burrow did at LSU.
Some.
Because look at Lamar Jackson, which is a completely different story because he's a runner. But no run. I'm sorry. You don't establish the run at all.
To the running back that you just paid.
One of the biggest things in the NFL is play action. You got to get linebackers moving to one side and faking out the secondary and act like you're running left and go right because then the line shifts that way and you're getting out of the pocket. And they did that no times.
Yeah, there's no threat for play action.
I mean, it was literally 5 wide the entire game. And that lies on Zach Taylor.
How does Joe Mixon start that game off with 8 carries in the first half?
And he ends up with 16 carries for like 45 yards.
Yeah, so like 16. And people have been like, well, he averaged 16 carries a game last year. Yeah, and look at the fucking record last year.
That's so beyond the point. Yeah, because there are Bengals fans out there that's like, well, what do you expect him to do? Well, you just paid him like a top 6 running back. You knew what line you had because you have the same line as last year.
And he put up 1,100 yards behind it.
And you got to run the football. There's no reason not to run the football when you have Joe Burrow. And dude, if you look at Joe Burrow, because I'll touch on him for a minute, but you'll see some of him getting out of the pocket, and he delivers the ball right where it needs to be. So you have to wonder, like, okay, well, if we were in play action,
perfect.
He could deliver the ball where it needs to be without somebody being in his face, right?
You could set that up.
This is Zach Taylor, man. This is all on Zach Taylor. Like you said, we don't know how much control he has over free agency, the draft, how much his opinion matters. So
he should have been pounding.
Either way, we know he calls the plays.
Yeah. There's no two ways about that. And he does this every year. Well, I mean, I guess it's only the second year, but he did this last year where he just didn't run the ball. And then toward the end of the season, he decided to run the ball, and it started going well. Mixon started having good games. Why would you not want to start that? They were never behind so much in that game that they had to abandon the run.
Never. That's a winnable game for him.
Yeah, it absolutely was. And not only that, he runs a goddamn read option with Burrow from the 1 fucking yard line. They score on that possession, they win the game.
Yeah.
Baker ends up throwing a pick.
Yeah.
You know, they could have slowed down a little bit more, not rush, probably control the game. They probably win the game if they get there. What the fuck was he calling that for?
I don't know.
That's the one time that he had a threat to run the ball, and he chose to run a read option, and it doesn't even look like Burrow was ever going to give the ball. It was just a design. And
right.
It was a designed run for him, and it was fucking terrible. And then they come away with nothing.
So let's stay on the Bengals here, and I'm going to give you my take.
Fuck Zach Taylor.
And here's my take. And let me say this first, because I want to put this out there. I don't want you guys to just think I'm sitting here shitting on because he's the Bengals and it's Joe Burrow. The Bengals got the pick right. Joe Burrow should have been the number 1 pick. The Bengals made the right pick. The Bengals made the smart pick. Joe Burrow will be good as long as Zach Taylor don't kill him. But if you get him in line, Joe Burrow's going to be good. Let me say this about Joe Burrow, though. Can we stop acting like this is the second coming of Peyton Manning, the second coming of fucking Andrew Luck, the comparisons that we're seeing? And let me just tell you why. 61 passes, and like I said, him throwing is not on him. 1 completion over 20 yards. I believe it was actually a great design play by Taylor, who we just shit on.
He'll do it every now and then.
To the tight end who's now out for the season. I know what Uzama.
Yeah, snapped his Achilles.
And I believe that was the one play that the Bengals had through 61 passes that was completed over 21 yards.
And that's why it took him 61 passes to get to 300 yards.
61 passes to get 300 yards. It just took Justin Herbert 22 passes to be over 300 yards.
Well, that's a lot different when you have a good offensive line, a great defense, a good coach.
Whoa. The Chargers line is not good.
It's a lot better than the Bengals line.
I would say it's better, but not enough to be. I just think the play calling is different.
Well, he's got a way better coach.
I mean, go back and watch the game. Joe Burrow, dink, dunk, dink, dunk. Dink. I mean, he dinked and dunked all the way up the field. And here's the problem I have with Joe Burrow right now. I remember sitting there with you, and I remember a conversation we had because I think it was at my house. We were watching LSU Alabama, and this is when you were really sold on Joe Burrow.
That was the game that sold me on him.
And he hit deep ball after deep ball, and just put the ball back shoulder throw right in somebody's lap. Joe Burrow, and since coming in the NFL, has not thrown not one good deep ball.
Well, he's only
he missed Ross, and we don't know if that went through his hands.
I still think
it looks like it missed Ross. He missed AJ wide open.
He did.
He missed AJ on the first play of the game to start off against Cleveland.
Yeah, out of bounds. Yeah,
he is missed. What made me really attracted to Joe Burrow as a quarterback was that what we talked about that night: the deep ball, the accuracy that he had on the deep ball, and he's missing wide open receivers on this deep ball. He's got to get that under control. and get that back.
I've only seen him throw deep probably those 3 times.
I think,
though.
yeah.
They don't,
but he's
give
missed.
him
He's
looks.
missed on them.
I don't think he missed Ross. I still think Ross could have made a play on that ball.
We need to go back and look at that. Either he overthrew Ross because of the angle, why we're saying that. Either he missed him or it went through Ross's hands.
But the one in the Chargers game to AJ was a blatant miss. He even said after the game, he said, I missed a throw that a high schooler could have made. And he was wide open.
Yeah.
The one to start the game against Cleveland led him too far out of bounds. Throws probably off by a yard or so.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, though, he doesn't get a lot of deep looks. I don't know if that's because I think Taylor's trying to design all of these dink and dunks and short intermediate routes because he doesn't trust the line to hold up long enough for him to look deep. But either way,
I wonder,
you're never going to get the deep shot unless you have a running game that you can use to set up play action.
I wonder if Zach Taylor is so bad that he watched what Joe Burrow did at the end of the Chargers game, took what the defensive gave him, and literally made that the game plan.
That's a far different scenario in a 3-minute drive.
It is
to
completely
try to get back
different.
into field goal range or win the game.
Zach Taylor just looks like he has no idea what he's doing at times.
And
He just looks so in over his head, and I've been saying that for 2 years, and you're a Bengals fan, you should give him the pass last year, But we've talked about it, the close games.
Well, it was just such a big transfer. It was a
Right.
huge culture shock to the team, and it's like, okay, I get it, but 2 games in, we could very easily be 2-0 right now.
And if you've seen my Twitter,
We should
you'll
at
see
least
me.
be 1-1.
If you've seen my Twitter and you talk to my Bengals friends, I've been giving them shit. I've been saying, man, Justin Herbert looks way better than Joe Burrow. I don't really think that.
You got to address. It's on the Twitter. You got to bring it to the locker room.
I don't really think that. That is me talking, giving you guys shit like you guys would give me. But I'll say this: I'm not too impressed with him from some of the throws he's made. Now I like his poise. I like that he stays in there. Man, I keep looking at that. The shot he got from Porter Gustin, god damn, that looked like that hurt, man.
Yeah, you can't take many of those.
He laid him out. We've talked about the Bengals line. Myles Garrett had 9 times more pressures than the entire Bengals defensive line. I think the defensive line it's almost, well, I mean, you're missing Mike Daniels and Geno, but I almost feel like it's starting to show their age.
Carl Lawson's been playing more and he looks like shit.
Yeah, but on top of that, the Browns look like they have a top 5 offensive line. Like they went and spent the money on that offensive line. They drafted Jedrick Wills at 10, who he looks fantastic. He hadn't even given up pressure yet.
I think he's like the 5th highest graded rookie lineman.
Wyatt Teller, who we traded for last year, is the number 1 right guard on PFF, and he reminds me of Quentin Nelson. This dude put on some muscle, and he's just fucking destroying people. Jack Conklin, who we picked up, looked good. He didn't play. Chris Hubbard comes in, and we don't miss a beat. I mean, Baker did not get hit once. He didn't get pressured once. I mean, the line looks great. And kind of want to talk about Baker here. I don't know if I've told you this before, but I can always tell when Baker's about to have a good game on about 3 or 4 throws.
Yeah, because he's playing a bad team. He has good games.
No. But here's what I'm saying. I can almost tell when Baker's going to have a good game because the way the ball comes off. He's very accurate. He'll start off very accurate. If within the first 3 throws he throws a high ball, I'm like, oh fuck. But he started hitting throws instantly, boom, 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 and off the play action because they didn't start out running.
Yeah, that revamped Bengals linebacker core looked great, didn't it?
Hey, it ain't any worse than ours. I mean, we shouldn't give up 30 points. But I just feel like I like Baker when he can when he's more of a game manager. When he can make the throws that he can make.
Don't get all hyped up over this win against us lowly Bengals fans.
I'm not hyped.
Don't lose to Washington. We're going to lose to Philly.
I don't know. That's one of the games I'm looking at. I don't know. I do think the Browns beat Washington.
Yeah, they probably will. And another note from the game Thursday night that I thought was funny, Joe Burrow's parents got to attend to watch him play in the NFL for the first time because they weren't allowed at the first game. And they pretty much want to know if all fans in the NFL are crazy, mean assholes or if it's just Browns fans. So shout out to the Browns for having 6,000 people in the game, having a brawl.
There was a fight.
Yeah, having a brawl get recorded and posted on the internet. And Burrow's parents, the quote is from his mom, "It was a little bit harsh." That have been one way to put it.
Welcome to the NFL.
I guess I haven't been to enough NFL games to know if that's normal, if that's just a Browns thing. We experienced it a couple times in college, but this was just different. That's okay, though. I'll have to thicken up my skin a little bit, I guess. They sat opposite the dog pound, and they were wearing plenty of Bengals gear, but they decided not to wear Joe Burrow jerseys like they would wear at his college games. And his dad said, we're waiting a little. We want to get too far ahead of ourselves advertising that we're Joe Burrow's parents. Everybody at LSU knew it no matter what, so you might as well wear the number 9, but that's not the case here. So they got their own little welcome to the NFL, because I have been to several Bengals-Browns games in Cleveland, and they are not nice people. No,
hey,
I didn't get like punches thrown or anything, but like
we talk shit.
I remember walking through the Muni lot with you, and that guy had like the big tailgate set up with the microphone. He's like yelling, and like I walked by, and he was like, "Hey, you!" And I turned around, I was like, "Me?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Fuck you, buddy." I was wearing a pair of like Vans. He's like, "Why don't you go skateboard, you faggot?"
I don't know, man. I don't know if anything ever beats going to Bengals Pittsburgh that playoff week and the way they treated one of our buddies after that. And
yeah, that
told him he needed to die. Told him they hoped he got diabetes, and
yeah, that was
fighting in the stands.
Those dudes should have got the shit beat out of them.
Yeah, so I don't
people
think
peed on
it's
each
not
other.
just Browns fans. That's not true. Every fan base gets like this because there's a reason why I hate Bengals fans. I don't even really hate the Bengals. It's like the fans. I hate you guys.
You're making me hate Baker. You're making me want to hate Baker.
What did I say about?
You're so mean to my fucking Bengals.
Yeah,
I gotta be mean to Baker.
because
those commercials are good. Though.
Now you realize the shit that, and it's not you, but a lot of Bengals fans. It's constantly Baker's going to be out of the NFL in a few weeks.
Mark
Baker's never going to make it in the NFL. Baker this, Baker that. Now, how's it feel to tell you your number 1 draft pick should have been Justin Herbert? Like that's just some of your guys' own medicine.
That's not true though.
Listen,
not yet.
This is what I wanted to point
be.
out. This is what I want to point out. Is it true? Is it not true? Do you even know yet? You don't know. I'll tell you, like you even said, Herbert looked a lot better than Burrow in his debut
was better. He's got a lot better situation, I think. And fucking let's talk about that.
Why,
How do you puncture your quarterback's lung right before the
crazy.
game?
Yeah, that's just saying, hey, we need Herbert to start. They did
bust
that.
that
That happened to
motherfucker's
Tyrod Taylor, just in case you guys haven't.
Yeah, the team doctor punctured his lung. He had a cracked rib against the Bengals, I guess.
Tried to inject him so he could play.
Shot his fucking lung up.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off. You can make your point.
Well, because you said Herbert's in a lot better situation. Defensively, yes. The defense is nice. But what happened to all this talk about the Bengals' weapons?
Well, for one, they don't use most of them.
Let's talk about A.J. Green. Tell me what you think about him.
A.J. Green looks like a shell of A.J. Green right now.
Shell of himself. He looks, and I kept telling you this during the game because we watched together. How slow does he look? I
think I got about one more game of telling myself that it could be rust.
I traded him in fantasy.
I saw that. He hasn't played in a couple of years, pretty much.
He's dropping balls and shit.
Yeah, he's dropping passes that are put on him. I'm officially to the worried stage, and I also am now more understanding of why the Bengals might not have gave him a long-term deal.
But another thing that you can give the front office of the Bengals kudos for is maybe franchising him to see what he had was the right thing and not doing a deal.
Yeah, because as of right now, he looks bad. He doesn't look good. He doesn't look like A.J. Green. Everybody said
in a way, though, and he got targeted 12 times. He had 3 catches for 24. Now, some of that credit does go toward Denzel Ward, who's absolutely balling out right now.
Yeah, he was playing his ass off. I don't know why the Bengals kept going his way.
But yeah, just AJ just looks so slow, man. There's so many weapons on there. Let's not act like they don't have weapons because they do. It's just you just don't see the ball going everywhere. I don't know, man. To me they got to get out of that 5 wide. They've got to start running the ball in a heavy formation. Or some kind of single back formation, I form, whatever.
Yeah, give me the eye.
Yeah,
give me the eye at least.
Because if you can at least try to establish a run, and then you get a play action rollout, you might have receivers wide open. He made some great throws on the side to the sidelines.
Yeah, he made some vintage LSU throws while under pressure and rolling out. They're not using Joe Mixon at all. In the passing game, even because I said that after he got paid, I said, okay, he's going to be more involved in the passing game. He got a little bit more than running back money, so he's going to be involved in the passing game, and they haven't. And he looked very pissed on
He should.
Thursday.
Shouldn't he have woke up mad as hell?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
What is the point of paying the man?
That's what I don't get. He needs to say something or make his voice heard. I mean,
right.
And there's ways to do it without being
right.
You don't have to, and you don't have to be the Keyshawn Johnson, give me the damn ball to the reporter. It doesn't have to be a distraction. You can walk into Taylor's office and be like, look, dude, I think I need the ball more. I think I need to be more involved. I think we play better when I get more involved because historically they do.
Yeah. And I think he has every right to say that. Like, you paid me to run the ball. Like, let me run it.
So fuck Zach Taylor.
Last thing on that game, real quick.
Fuck it.
Last week I came in here and I made a prediction, and you were like, "What?" I said that the Browns would rush for anywhere from 150 to 200 yards.
Well, I didn't know we were going to lose Geno and Daniels. I thought that Daniels.
No, we knew that they could be out. We said they could be out, but that don't matter. They had over 200 yards. Bengals fan, is there a better 1-2 punch than Chubb Hunt?
No. In the league, no. It's probably not even close.
Yeah, I don't think it's close. But let me tell you something that's a little concerning that I think you should be concerned about. The Bengals pull within, I think, 6 points, right? The Browns get the ball back for a dagger drive. If they score, they put it away.
Yeah, they didn't even. Yeah,
six runs, no passes. The Browns go score on 6 runs.
That's pathetic.
I just don't understand how.
I'm getting ready to go to Pee Wee football practice after this. I've been coaching Pee Wee football for 5 years. I don't think I've ever seen that. With kids, Jesus fucking Christ!
They spent a lot of money on defense.
I guess I shouldn't say in the wrong spots, but they spent. DJ Reader leads the NFL in nose tackles and run defense grade. I saw that today.
Yeah, I think Reader's played good outside of. It looks like the Browns were kind of killing them on that counter and that stretch.
Yeah, and Christian Covington having to play a lot more than Christian Covington should play didn't hurt. No, it's not to make an excuse. The Browns had a great fucking game plan. They've got the best 1-2 punch in the league. They punched us in the mouth and they ran it down our throat. Don't get me wrong. But I would look for the run defense to get a little bit better. Atkins was back on the rehab field. I know Daniels was back on the rehab field. You would have to assume the run defense would get better when Geno gets back, especially. But when it comes to the Browns running backs, I can't think of a team in the league that has a two-headed monster that's as good. Because I was telling you, I was like, yeah, dude, Hunt's way better than Chubb watching the game. And you're like, well, Chubb has over 100 yards. And I didn't even realize it.
Right. He does it real
he just grinds it. He grinds it out.
He busts out big ones too, man. Yeah. Every game he'll bust out a big run.
And he just grinds it out. And I think the Hunt runs are more explosive. They're probably more fun to watch. So I think he jumped out at me more. But absolutely, I can't think of a duo in the league in the running back room that's any better. I mean, there may be better running backs overall than those guys, but put together, no.
So let me tell you this. You guys are about to play a team that that is a bigger shit show right now than you guys are. The Eagles have no identity. Carson Wentz looks
awful,
terrible. Their offensive line is beat to death. So you guys might actually, I don't know. That's one of the games where I haven't made the pick yet.
We might win it, and I won't even see the end of it. Ain't that a bitch? But
why, you got a game?
Fuck yeah, on a Sunday, man. I gotta talk to somebody about Sunday at 4:00. You believe that? I don't know how to call this game either, though, man. Wentz looks fucking terrible. He looks like the worst quarterback in the league. Zach Taylor looks like and is the worst coach in the NFL. I know the Rager, that receiver that I think Jalen Rager was his name. He's out. He's out. Their defense doesn't look good. They gave up a 17-point lead. They blew a 17-point lead to the Washington football team. I still call them by their old name quite a bit. So that's gonna be a fucking toss-up game. I mean, they both suck. Who knows? You know?
Yeah. I mean, I just feel like the Bengals have more going for them, but watching the Bengals not being able to really protect themselves against the run is going to be a problem too, because Miles Sanders might have a day. I don't know if Alshon's playing.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But I don't know. I think you guys can win that game.
Yeah, I mean, they could win every game that they've been in this year if they had a better fucking coach. I said this on Twitter, and I can't believe my thumbs even typed it out. I said, do I miss Marvin Lewis?
Hey, man, you hated him.
Do I miss him though? I don't know. I'm just saying, man, Joe Brady's in the NFL now. He's going to get a year to figure out how it went down there in Carolina. Maybe they fire Zach Taylor, offer him a couple bucks. He reunites with Burrow.
They got to go somewhere, man. Zach Taylor's not the guy.
Well, the good news is Mike Brown has been known to fire a coach when things aren't working out after year 16. So
just a few more years.
He's got about 14 more to figure this thing out. But yeah, fuck Zach Taylor. Fuck Bobby Hart. Fuck Fred Johnson.
Just kind of want to go over some games here real quick, man.
Fuck everybody.
Because I'm sitting here like, man, I don't know where I want to go. Because we got this pick 'em. Just want to name a few games here and tell me what catches your eye. So Rams at Bills, both 2-0.
Yeah, that's a good one. Josh Allen's looking all right.
Raiders and Patriots. Are the Raiders just knocked off the Saints? Bengals, Eagles, Texans, Steelers. Who to me the Steelers haven't looked. They didn't look good at all.
They almost lost to Jeff Driscoll.
Right, they damn near lost. They probably. I won't say they probably should have. They have a really good defense. Let's see here. Cowboys, Seahawks. Another good one.
Seahawks.
Packers, Saints.
That would be a good one.
And then Monday night, Chiefs, Ravens. And let's talk about that one.
Dude, that is going to be a phenomenal game.
Think so?
Ravens fans are slowly...
I have a take on that. I have a take on that game.
Ravens fans are slowly becoming super fucking annoying, too.
Lamar.
I mean...
Can you guys stop? You guys have to stop with the Lamar over Pat Mahomes, man. Like you guys.
Wait, somebody said that?
You guys can't say that. It's all over Twitter.
Nobody can actually believe that.
I think,
you motherfuckers have driven me off Twitter. People have been pissing me off so bad.
I don't know. Like I don't know how you could ever think that.
Somebody said that and they weren't joking.
They weren't joking. They legitimately think because he's an MVP and.
It's like your.
Now I will say he's looked a lot better.
Yeah, he looks great. But I'm pretty sure your tweet was pretty damn accurate when you said the quarterbacks are Pat Mahomes, Russell Wilson, a large gap, and then the rest of them.
Yeah, and that's how I truly believe it. And man, Russell Wilson is making it hard to say Pat Mahomes. Ugh.
Dude, he's got like one more incompletion this year than he does touchdown pass. Like it's fucking insane.
He is fucking good. He's lighting it up. Yeah, his MVP, you're written all over it.
So going into that game though,
what are you thinking, man? Like. So apparently the Chiefs are out. I know they're without Braylon, who's like this is his last game of suspension.
Yeah,
they're out. I think another corner.
Yeah, they've got a couple corners out. I remember.
I don't know if the linebackers are hurt or they suck or exactly what's going on there. But you still have Pat Mahomes in that offense.
Well, that's the thing. I look at it as Baltimore's probably going to be able to run the ball on them. They're probably going to be able to put up some points on them. Their defense, Baltimore's defenses look good. I just think that Pat Mahomes can do whatever the fuck he wants to whoever the fuck he wants. I think it's probably going to be a fairly high-scoring game, and, Baltimore's going to try to control the clock and run the ball, and that's all well and good, but it seems like Mahomes can score in 20 seconds if he wants.
So what do you think? What's your prediction? You don't have to get – because we have this pick 'em now. What's your prediction on that game?
I'm going to go with the Chiefs are going to win.
What's the score?
I think the Chiefs win. They're going to put up 42. Baltimore's going to put up 38. It's going to be a high-scoring Monday night shootout.
Are you ready for my take on this?
Let's hear it.
Baltimore big.
Why?
Dude, that defense is insane. I mean, the defense is just they might be better than the Pittsburgh's defense.
That's a big take.
Calais Campbell is a dog. They
got him for fucking a bag of peanuts.
I mean, Justin Herbert almost beat the Chiefs.
I think they had a look-ahead game.
They might have, but the Ravens sure as hell wasn't. The Ravens almost just look like they're cruising to where they get to the playoffs and lose. Not really, but but I think, and I bet you, I would put money if you looked at a Chiefs Twitter that they're kind of pushing this game to the side, like, oh, this game don't matter because I think they know what's coming. I think that
how big? When you say Baltimore big, how big are you talking?
I mean, I'm not going to. I would say somewhere between 14 and 20 points.
Whew.
And that's crazy, man. And I hope to God I am wrong. I hope to God I am wrong. But I think Baltimore is about to show you how fucking good they are. I don't know why it is like this. I don't know why I'm thinking this, but I think that they are going to crush them.
Yeah,
and make a statement.
They've got the chip on their shoulder. They've got the we need to make a statement thing. Lamar was told to be a running back. You can only play that up so much.
But
he looks good.
He
looks better than I thought he would. I thought he
looks damn good.
I thought he was going to take a big step back this year, and he hasn't.
And I also think that this game means more to the Ravens than it does the Chiefs. I think
That's
this
true.
is just another game for the Chiefs because I think the Chiefs look kind of cold right now. Like Pat Mahomes' first game, 219 yards. Now, he did lead the drive last week over a really good defense, and we all know Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league, unless you're making a call for Russell Wilson. But I just think this game means a lot to Baltimore. A Week 3 game,
Super Bowl
they're
champs.
firing on all cylinders, and I think that the Ravens come out and put it on them.
Wow.
And I hope I'm wrong.
I don't know if I'll be able to pick against the Chiefs all year.
This is the 1 week.
But it's not out of the realm of possibility. I don't think that's too crazy to say. I don't think it would be crazy to say that Baltimore could win the game. I don't know if they do it by 17-20. If they do, but
14-20.
Oh yeah, 14-20. Sorry, 14-20.
Baltimore just looks unstoppable right now. They just look fast. They look physical. They just play football. And I'm not saying this because they beat the Browns. Okay, this isn't where that's coming from. Houston, I don't have Houston making the playoffs. This is just Baltimore to me looks that good right now. Now I think if this was if this is a playoff game, I would never pick.
Right.
This is just a Week 3. This means a lot more to Baltimore than it does fucking the Chiefs, and I think they wax them.
That's not. I guess that's not out of the realm of possibility. So I'll give you that. I still think that the Chiefs win it in a close shootout. But I could be wrong. I just feel like Pat Mahomes can do whatever the fuck he wants to whoever the fuck he wants. But I could be completely wrong. So, really, I don't know, man. That's tough. But going into Week 3, that's definitely the cherry on top game. But like you said, man, there's going to be a lot of good football, and this is going to be one of those days where we need to use all of our TVs.
Is the Gardner Minshew? Is this dude for real?
He looked at last year. He's looked at so far this year.
He started off good, dude.
He's got like some really damn good numbers.
I thought they're supposed to be tanking.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought they were getting
2-0, right?
Gardner Minshew's like, fuck that.
They're 2-0, right?
No, they're 1-1. They lost last week, but played the
good.
Titans to.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I watched the end of that game. I don't know. I mean, he's fucking cool as shit. You know, he's got a cool mustache. He's got cool hair. He does like quirky, weird shit. He's kind of just like the perfect guy for Jacksonville. Like he looks like he's just like drinking PBR and fucking shit up all the time. And like that's cool. I think that's fucking awesome. You know, like I got a mullet. I know how we're on the same level. And there's a battle going on because Ryan Fitzpatrick said that guys that only have mustaches have patchy sides.
Oh, shit.
And Gardner Minshew said, well, I'm going to take the high road and not disrespect my elder, especially when he's way, way my elder. So there's some facial hair battle going on in this game. It's the Beard Bowl.
I think Minshew's going to light it up tomorrow, man.
He could. He very well
Against
could.
the Miami. I think Miami's like 27th in the pass right now.
Yeah, I don't think Byron Jones is playing. I think he's got an Achilles injury. I don't think it's pulled or like snapped or anything, but he's nursing that, so he's not going to play. I could see Minshew doing it, and then you're already wondering when the Tua talk's going to come in Miami, aren't you?
Yeah, a lot of people were saying after this week because you get a long week, to prepare.
Tua's going to fucking suck.
I don't know.
Tua is going to
I'm not
suck.
going that far. What do you think about this? What do you think about Drew Brees? You think he's done? I don't think he's done yet.
He almost didn't come back this year. He's got a job at NBC waiting on him.
I don't think he looks as bad as everyone's saying.
I don't think he looks bad. He threw a bad pick.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens.
Kamara looks good.
Kamara looks very good.
The fucking Raiders look good. The whole damn team. Darren Weller's nice. Darren Waller.
Let me pause for a second. At halftime of that game, did you see what happened?
Well, I didn't see. What are you talking about?
They are fining coaches.
Oh yeah, what the fuck?
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
$100,000.
$100,000 for the coach. $250,000 for the team for not wearing masks, and it was like made big.
I cannot believe that coming from Roger Goodell.
Sean Payton wasn't wearing one. John Gruden wasn't wearing one.
That's fucking terrible.
Vic Fangio,
These guys just
Pete
got
Carroll.
tested yesterday.
The day before.
Yeah, I don't get it.
What the fuck? So you're telling me you're going to find this guy $100,000 out of his pocket for not wearing a mask to protect the spread of a virus that he doesn't have, or none of the players have, none of the fucking ball boys have, none of the refs
if they had it,
have.
they wouldn't be there.
Nobody in the fucking stadium, and they're in their brand new stadium. They already said in Vegas they're not having fans the whole year.
It's just a compliant thing, man. They're just doing it to comply and don't want the heat on them.
So what the fuck? They don't have the fucking virus.
Hey, so what is your lock pick this week? Because I'm in a survivor pool, right? And
I fucking hate survivor pools. I never do them.
There's still some of us left. Big chunk got taken out week 1. So I want to know, if you had to make one pick this week, who would you pick? Do you like, all right, I'm locking them in. They're winning for sure. And I do not have San Francisco. I've already used San Francisco last week, and I do not have Pittsburgh. I used them the week before. Although, we'll get to that. But if you had to pick a lock pick right now, who you taking for this week?
If I had to pick a lock, I would give you Seattle over Dallas.
Really?
Dallas fucking sucks.
To me, that's risky.
They just ran into the dumbest fucking team in modern history. I don't know how Dan Quinn can blow leads like he does and keep his job. Give up an onside kick when you're not even allowed to explode into the onside kick anymore because the player's safe. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Russell Wilson's going to run wild. Take it to the bank, Seattle.
Okay, I'm not taking that. It's too risky for me.
I would, but you also want to use Seattle later in the season. Probably.
Yeah, when I'm taking a survivor, I want somebody who I think is. Usually, I'm going to be like, that's a guaranteed win until you get later in the season and you've used all these guys.
Looking at these games, it's already tough to find one.
Let me tell you who I was thinking, okay? I got 3 here, and this is who I'm choosing from. So, first, I'm thinking the Colts over the Jets.
That was one that I was looking at, too. Did you see that throw Darnold made, though? That shit was
a great
bonkers.
Throw. They're fucking Malik Hooker out for the season now.
Can't stay healthy.
Paris Campbell out for the season. And I do not trust Phillip Rivers, even though it's the Jets. For some reason, I just don't trust it. It's in Indy, which makes it nice. So they're definitely still on my list. The other game is the Bucks over Jeff Driscoll's Broncos.
We have the same 3. Well, 2 of the same 3, I think.
So I was thinking about that one. And the other one, believe it or not, and I'm not trying to be a homer here, but I think the Browns are definitely going to beat Washington and Cleveland. They just lost Brandon Sharif, their right guard. I just feel like they're going to be able to run well against them. And usually, if they can run well, I think they're going to win a lot of games this year. If they can run well,
that's probably fair.
The Browns are probably the least 3. I just think I almost feel like that should be a win. So I think I'm going to pick one of the other 2. I think I'm leaning towards the Colts, man.
Yeah, I mean.
But it does scare me.
Jeff Driscoll looked pretty damn good against that Pittsburgh defense, former Bengal. We had all kinds of Bengals quarterbacks playing last week. Burrow played. Fucking Andy Dalton got in for the Cowboys. Driscoll's out there getting some runs.
Didn't he hand the ball to Zeke and he scored?
Yeah. Yeah, he led a touchdown drive, sort of.
All right, so.
Dak came back in. Dak sucks.
Your upset pick this week. Who's your upset pick?
Upset pick this week. I don't know if I can call it an upset given all the injuries. The Giants will beat the Niners.
Okay. No Bosa,
no Solomon Thomas.
I don't think Garoppolo.
No Garoppolo.
Playing, no Debo.
Mustard's out. I mean, so maybe it's not necessarily an upset.
I would consider it an upset still.
But the Giants get their first win of the season against the Niners at home at that turf that apparently see, the Niners got to play on that field twice, and Kyle Shanahan was bitching about the field.
Yeah, now they're saying some shit. Like, that's
saying the field was fucked up.
And all that, yeah.
But so he's there 2 weeks in a row. But the NFL came out and said it was all up to standard or whatever. But I think the Giants get the win against San Fran.
My upset pick, you're gonna like this one. The Houston Texans first win over the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Lock it up. I'd love it.
Fuck
JJ Watt.
They were the Steelers had a real hard time stopping Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, he had a hell of a game.
He ran the ball real well. The Pittsburgh's offense hasn't impressed me at all either game. Also, they've beaten Daniel Jones and they've beaten Jeff Driscoll. So I'm not sure that I'm not riding the wave that everyone else. Even though I think that their defense is legit, I think they're a damn good defense. I just feel like they're still trying to kick the rust off because that's how Pittsburgh always starts to slow. And they're in saying that they're 2-0. But I think that this is a must win for Deshaun Watson. And I feel like that they get it. I think they get it rolling, man. I think that they upset the Steelers.
It wouldn't shock me. And fuck J.J. Watt, always and forever. Everybody knows how I feel about J.J. Watt and that whole fucking family. But I will.
Oh, you got J.J. versus T.J. Watt
and Derek, the fullback.
You've got to watch that,
dude. Fucking spare me. There's not enough cameras in that motherfucker.
No.
But
we probably won't be able to watch the game.
I will root for J.J. today. Is that a 4:00 game?
That is a 1:00 game.
Oh wow, lots of 1:00 slate going on here.
Yeah, man, you're missing out, dude.
Yeah,
fucking Pee-wee.
I'm gonna have to leave the house probably about 2:30, 2:45.
Ouchie.
Go out to Springboro. Yeah, so that's gonna suck. But I got the Sunday ticket on my phone. I'll watch that shit.
Yeah. Should be a fun week though, man. There's a lot of games. So
yeah, absolutely, lots coming up, dude. You left a comment because you're a dick, but I've posted, this is the best day of the week. I had all my TVs going. And you said, yeah, especially when you already won on Thursday, and that's true.
It is.
But, man, it is. There's something nice about watching football on Sunday, and I know you get all your TVs going. You got all the games you want to see on. There's something nice about just laying there, being a fat ass, eating. Like, I think you made chili. I just ate all day. And not having to worry about your team. You can just lay there and take in.
And half of that was me being an asshole, but half of that was me being serious.
No, yeah, it's absolutely true.
If you can win your Thursday game, and so here was my thought. So we won our Thursday game. We walked away pretty much injury-free. Adrian Claiborne got a hit pointer who he's going to play through, so he's back. So injury-free, we win the game because me and you are diehard Bengals and Browns fans. So your heart's pounding all day. You're ready for the game. And
it's not relaxing.
You know what I mean? It's not really relaxing. But when you can just be like, all right, we already got the win. Now I get to just enjoy Sunday football. We made a big pot of chili. Played fantasy football. I think I played like $30 in fantasy football on FanDuel. Had all my fantasy leagues going. So, dude, it's fun. That was fun.
Yeah, and even when we lost, but obviously it would have been a much better. I know if we would have gotten the fucking win, but
you didn't.
Yeah, I
bragging
didn't.
rights.
So that next matchup's coming up in October. It's a pretty quick turnaround
week
on
7.
that, isn't it?
Yeah, week 7 in Cincy. But, hey, just want to remind everybody, don't forget, get in here and get in this poll. Like Drew said, it's already up to 150 for the pick'em. Get your picks locked in before tomorrow, before
7:30.
Before 7:30. Let's get that pot up there. And then we'll be posting it. Drew will be posting. He posts it all the time. I post it.
I'm going to blow you up. You're either going to get in it or you're going to fucking get mad at how much I post it. Because once it gets full of 50 people.
It's only $10 to enter. You got to send it Cash App to # Drew Garrison.
Yeah, or on Venmo at Drew Garrison.
However you need to send it. And
when you Venmo it costs me
Austin
$0.25.
got his money, Tuesday morning.
Yeah,
and then before that, Michael got his money Tuesday morning.
Yeah,
so
I send it as soon as I get up on Tuesday. I see who won. I send it out. I usually know who won Sunday night, but I send it over in the morning just to make sure that they get it. Right now, it will cap at 50 people, which would be $500. But if this thing grows big enough, I paid $50 to run it for the year out of pocket. No big deal. But if it gets bigger and more than 50 people want to get in, I can bump that up and we can get this thing. I mean, it can go up to in the thousands, which I don't know if we'll get that high.
Still, I mean,
if we can probably get over 50 by the time the end of the year comes.
I put in $10 and he won $340. I mean, he just fucking paid for Sunday ticket. So
yeah, well, no, his wife commented on our Instagram and said, "Look at him." And I said, "Well, he said you can't have any of the money." And she said, "I already bought something."
See,
shout out to Austin. Shout out to Morgan. Newlyweds.
No, fuck that. Fuck that. What's he doing? No, I'm just playing. Yeah, shout out to those guys.
Newlyweds. So we will have plenty to lock into this weekend. We will be back in here probably next Wednesday. I think Wednesday is probably the best day to do this now instead of Thursday with Thursday Night Football on. So we will be back in, locked in. And we will be in the locker room next week to hopefully announce the next pick'em winner that wins over $340. Get with me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good shit. If you need a link, any help, I've walked a lot of people through this. I'm like a fucking bookie or something. It's kind of cool. I feel like
it is.
I feel
You're like
a
one-man casino.
Yeah, I feel like I'm playing casino with like Robert De Niro and shit. So we will be back in to get the recap of everything that's going on in the last week of sports next week. Thank you for tuning in. Locker Room Talk Uncut.